And the freedom is not unstructured. Freedom is different structure.
How would you compare it? Because a lot of what you talked about was in generalities, which I understand is necessary given the time span and the form, but
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with the new school around here, or Child's Place, or Montessori. I mean, I've been told that those kinds of schools would be the exact opposite of what would be good for my son, given his particular situation.
Okay. And I would say they're probably some level of middle ground between total freedom and total autocracy, whatever you want to call the traditional system, coercive education. Maria Montessori's original philosophy was follow the child. That is total Sudbury philosophy. Because Montessori schools in America have become more American, and really many around the world, more school-like. They don't follow the child. There's a lot of teaching and a lot of rules about how to use things, and so that's not Sudbury-like. Sudbury gives kids freedom to explore as they need to. The holding the boundaries is about how we live together. My freedom to explore can't impinge on your freedom, is the bottom line. Okay?
So what stops my son from sitting in the corner and rolling a train back and forth in front of his eyes if that's what he wants to do?
Nothing and maybe everything. I know there are wonderful special ed teachers. You know, I've been one. I also know that what I've seen with kids, with a kid with a problem, is every bit and often more powerful than a great special ed teacher. I don't know what your answer is.
What kinds of children don't do as well in the Sudbury system?
A child has to be able to take responsibility for their own behavior. Okay? And that doesn't mean children come in being responsible, but they have to agree to live by the boundaries they all create together, or accept the consequences, whether the consequence is that they have to go to mediation and work it out, or whether the consequence is that they have to go to the judicial system because they broke one of the rules that they helped make. So any student who is not able, because of where they are in their life right now, who's not able to do that, couldn't be accepted to a Sudbury school.
And how do you know, I mean, you know, conventional or not, the school, we do live in a conventional society. It hasn't changed yet. How do you know if your child is meeting the conventional goals for his age?
I don't believe in the set conventional goals for his age, so I don't need my child to meet those. In other words, you know, if the school system says a child will read by age 7, I have seen kids take off reading like that have never looked at a book when they decide they want to. And I have seen kids in traditional education suffer through reading, feel like they're the dregs of society because they don't know how to read, watch their self-esteem plummet because they don't. So I don't buy into those, you'd be reading by age 7. They'll all be reading by the time they need it, okay? We live in a literate culture. It would be very different. Children have always wanted to emulate the adults of the culture, whether that's a hunter-gatherer culture, a Native American culture, or American society in the 21st century. Children want to emulate the adults of the society. There is no child who's not going to want to learn to read when they're ready. But I don't buy into it has to happen at age 7. I know children, it's happening at 3 or 4. And I know other kids who are just reading like that at 10.
And those goals aren't really very conventional, and they change all the time. They change with the times, they change on whims.
I mean, really, look at these books now, what every first grader should know, or whatever. Some guys making a lot of money, doing that.
The whole
And, I mean, it
educational
really
system
It has nothing
is
to
based
do
on
with
making
anything
money.
about kids and about real money.
Exactly.
So speaking of money, and this is my last question, I'm sorry to monopolize, but say you can't afford Sudbury for 12 years, is there any,
That's why I said I wish,
What kids
I
pay
wish
3
it
or 4?
could be, I mean, I wish the public school, I wish our laws were free enough to allow public school models of Sudbury, because I know what the kids would choose.
okay, so if you had to pick, say, 3 to 5 years of their life, what's the most important time to send them?
If it were my child, I mean, it's impossible to answer in one way, but if it were my child, the younger the better.